The process for completing a ticket or completing a job on a service ticket could be different depending on your settings and what things you require. I'll go through some of the basic processes, and then it's really up to the individual dealerships as to how you want to what you want to actually force the person to do when they're completing these things. So right now we have a unit and we have a job on that unit. And the idea is that we're done. We need to complete the job. The mechanic has signed off on it. So, for example, they've come in and said the work was completed. So the service writer is actually alerted to the fact that they need to go and review this thing and get it done. So right now what we're doing is we are going to take a look first at the unit, because in this particular demo database, we actually are forcing mileage. So it requires that before I can complete a job, I have to make sure that I have either mileage or odometer settings on that particular unit before I can actually cash it out. So we're just going to go in and say that we've got whatever the mileage was when it came in. And I don't think, let me check this, but I don't think it actually requires you to. Well, it does. So we actually need the mileage out and in. So the here we'll just put in the same mileage if we didn't actually write it, and so that satisfies that requirement. Now another thing that is a requirement in this particular database is that we require you to log the mechanic's time on that unit or on that job before you can close out the job as well. So to do that, I'm going to go over here and just check and make sure that we have logged mechanic time, make sure that everybody is on there and that everything is properly filled out. So having completed those two things, the next thing is I want to edit the job, and we're just going to review everything that's on here. We can see how many hours were worked, how much it costs to get that work done, my shop materials and other things that are on here. This is actually a flat rate job. And so I can go through here and check and verify, make sure that my service perform is all good, that everything is filled out properly, and then we're just going to save the job. Mechanic performance report has already, okay, so this particular job has actually already been, I happened to pick a bad example here, but it really, let me just go grab something else here. So it really, the primary thing is that we have the mechanics, we've got the mileage on the unit. Let me check this one, so we got to fill this out. And so we have everything fulfilled. We've checked the job. Everything's good. So to complete the job, all we're going to do is check this box. And so that signs the job off, and you'll notice the box actually turns to red. And if you click it, it will actually let you uncomplete the job. Now, you'll notice on that ticket I pulled up a second ago, it said that the service performance report had already been run against that invoice. Whenever you run the performance report and you process that data, it locks this job so you can no longer edit it. You're finished with it at that point. If you need to change something, you have to create a new job and reverse or do whatever it is that you're trying to fix. But once you pay the mechanic off of that particular job, this ticket is finished, or this job is finished. There's nothing stopping you from putting more jobs on this ticket and working on them, but this particular one's done once you pay. So if I wanted to undo this one, all I do is click it. It'll come up and say, okay, we're going to unmark it, and now it'll go through and unmark it so we get all of our options back. So the process of completing the job is pretty trivial. Now, once you get all of the jobs completed on that particular ticket, well, then the ticket itself is finished. So we've basically completed all of the things that we needed to do on that particular unit, and so we can now call the customer and let them know that they can come pick up the unit and everything is ready for them to come get and pay.